Hi and welcome to Coronet Peak. This induction video has been created to let you know what our expectations are when you visit Coronet Peak in a non-recreational capacity. We believe that health and safety is the responsibility of everybody on site, and we thank you for your attention for the next couple of minutes. Your Coronet Peak representative will discuss any site-specific hazards with you before you start any intended work. We also expect that you will explain to us what hazards you are bringing onto site, and if necessary, a toolbox meeting will be conducted daily and you will share any information with any other contractors that you may work with in that locality. If the task you are planning to undertake carries a moderate risk, it's important that you contact your Coronet Peak representative to seek a work permit. Work permits will be issued for hot works, working at heights, driving, excavation and confined spaces. These work permits are designed to open a two-way discussion so that we can understand what risks you're bringing to site and we can explain to you what risks you'll be exposed to whilst carrying out that activity. It's important that all non-recreational visitors to Coronet Peak come into administration and let us know that you're on site by completing the visitor register and, if necessary, a health and safety induction. It's very easy to forget that we're working in an alpine environment that carries some significant risks. Please help us to manage these risks by reporting all near misses, accidents or damage. It's important to obey all safety rules in signage and keep our workspaces clear and tidy and make sure there's no obstructions in pathways. The following actions constitute unacceptable behaviour and will not be accepted by Coronet Peak. Alcohol and non-prescription drugs are prohibited from this site. Persons who are suspected to be under the influence of these banned substances will be denied access to our site. If you are taking any prescription medicines that might affect or compromise your safety at work, please advise your Coronet Peak representative. Firearms, ammunition and explosives are strictly prohibited. Misuse, abuse or unauthorised use of tools, vehicles or equipment is strictly prohibited. Bullying, fighting or aggressive behaviour will not be tolerated.
Driving on site. All vehicles that want to come on site need to seek permission from the ski area management. Our site speed limit is 30 kilometres per hour, and when you are parking, please park in a designated parking area. Only authorised and licensed staff can operate site machinery. Anyone operating any other motorised equipment must be trained and, if required, hold a current licence. NZ Ski vehicles can only be operated by NZ Ski employees. If you need to smoke, please be aware that smoking within any of the buildings is prohibited, but you are permitted to smoke in one of our outside smoking areas. In the event of a fire or any other emergency requiring exiting the building and site, a continuous siren will sound. Stop what you're doing immediately. Check your immediate area to alert others, then proceed to the allocated assembly point at the base of Meadows Express chairlift. Do not collect your tools or belongings, these will be safe, as no one will be allowed in the area until it is safe. Return to work only when the all clear is given. Working at heights. Working at heights requires specialist equipment and training. No one is to work in this capacity until they are trained and authorised to do so. For any gas cutting, grinding, welding or any other hot works, please refer to our hot works policy.
Some areas of work require PPE or personal protective equipment to be worn. In areas where this is required, failure to do so may compromise your contract with us. Our policy at NZ Ski with footwear is simple. Footwear must be suitable to the site that you're working in.
When working outside, it's important to remember that New Zealand sun can be very intense. At 1600 metres, the intensity can be 30% stronger than that at sea level. As our mountain doesn't have much shade, it's always important to have access to some high SPF sunscreen, a sun hat, and some sunglasses with some UV protection. Dehydration can also be a factor, so it's really important to stay hydrated and carry a water bottle with you. Weather's always changing up here as well, so it's really good to keep some layers with you, extra hat, or some extra gloves. Our first aid kit is located inside administration on the shelf. Also, every NZ Ski vehicle has a first aid kit.
So thank you for listening. You will now speak with your Coronet Peak representative to discuss any site or task-specific hazards that you're bringing with you. Thank you very much for listening and stay safe out there.